All right, y'all. So we are back with episode 2 of Mom Code.
Welcome all my Mom Code Nation.
Yes. So this episode,
That's what we calling them?
what we calling them?
Mom Code Nation?
Stamped it.
All
right. So on this episode, basically we about to get into just us getting to our breaking point. Y'all get into y'all breaking point. What is a breaking point for you? And how many of us or y'all are there already?
Yeah, this episode you might want to grab your tissue.
Your wine.
Of course, we forgot our tissue, but I mean we cry together already, so it's okay. But this is gonna be a very vulnerable episode. That I feel like every mother has been through, probably going through now, to the point where some mothers, have took that extra step and went off the deep end. So this video is here to talk about your feelings, talk about everything that you're going through, so you won't get to that breaking point where literally you have nothing to do but,
Or if you're at that point, what can you do to bring yourself out of that? So that's what today's topic is going to be. Cheers to that. Mom Code.
Cheers, girlie.
Yes. Okay. So first things first. I guess basically getting to your breaking point as a mother, what do you feel like your expectation before you had a kid was versus the reality once you had that kid?
I feel like for me, before I had Z, I was living. I mean, I was traveling. I was living a fast life, fast money, different city each and every weekend, partying, just spending money. I felt like I had no value to my life because I always was that type of person. Like, if I'm going to spend it, I'm going to get it right back. Especially like working a nightlife, you
That's
get
nightlife for
fast money all the time. So like my bills was my bills, what I'm saying? And that was just it. When reality hit for me was when, of course, I had Z, and I realized like, dang, this little person is dependent on me. Like, dang, for a newborn, it's $300 to $400 a week. You know what I'm saying? Child care. Health insurance, milk, because sometimes you don't get approved for that WIC or you don't get approved for Medicaid, depending on your income. So it was just a whole reality check. I always say that my child saved me.
That's a fact.
Because if I kept going the speed that I was going, I don't know, honestly, where would I be? Because I was so caught up into myself, so up into other people, trying to fit in. Or not even trying to fit in, but just trying to live that fast life that we see on TV. You know what I'm saying? Or that we see, she got a BBL, which is nothing's wrong with BBL. But, you start to inspire those things when you're working in certain nightlives and certain, areas.
You aspire to have these things or be a part of that lifestyle, but don't really know what comes with that lifestyle.
No.
So social media, movies, whatever, only shows you the glitz and glam. They don't show you the real reality of what people go through behind the scenes with all of that. Like, you got people being laid up in the hospital from getting BBLs and just doing all of these extra cosmetic things and partying and you see that type of stuff on social media, but as far as, but I agree with the, your child saved you. My child saved me. I feel like, before I had Sky, it was like, I can't say that I was like out partying, doing whatever. I was chilling. I've always been like a pretty chill, laid back person. I was never really out in the streets like that. I could actually say I partied more after I had Skylar. Like, I was laid back. But my thought of having a child was nothing like what I experienced. Like, I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be this perfect little family. It's going to be just what you see on TV or just what you see on social media. And it was not that whatsoever. Like, I have been a single mom with Skylar since Skylar was born. And so, that gets you to a point where you're like, I'm tired. because you're consistently doing it on your own. Like, I've had relationships and, you know, I've had people in my relationships that have been there and have supported my daughter and loved my daughter for who she was, but it's still not, you know, the same. It's like being with the parent of your child.
Yeah.
And when you have a child with somebody, I think sometimes you think like this is going to be forever.
Yeah, you try to like set the expectations like this what you should do. You know what I'm saying? Or this is what you always feel like you don't have to tell somebody that they should just already know, because I didn't bring this baby in this world by myself. Like, and it's crazy because as a mom, everything literally falls back on us no matter what. The dad can get up tomorrow and be like, you know what?
I'm out of here.
I'm not doing this.
Or I don't want to do, or I can't do.
Or
but
I
at
don't
the end
feel
of the day,
like it, or I'm going to go out. You know what? But when your child's sick or your child is in a hospital, who they call? Mama. Who get off work? Mom.
Every time.
And
a lot of times, even the kids, like, when anything happens, oh, mommy, I don't feel good. Mommy, I need this. Mommy, I need that. And it's no knocking the dads, because it's a lot of great dads out here. Like, I promise you, like, I know them. I've been around them. Hell, my person is a great dad. Yeah. Although that is not my daughter's father, he's a great dad. But at the end of the day, you know, what, you know, our expectation is prior to having kids is not what the reality actually ends up being. Yeah. And you got to accept that. But then even with accepting that, you got to just keep pressing forward, and you got to do what you got to do for your kid. Yeah. We don't know. I think now I can sit here and like, I talk to other people that have kids and I be like, listen, it ain't all it's cracked up to be. No. You're going to have these days where you just want to quit.
Punch in the air, like
literally, like I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to be a mom no more. Yeah. I don't want to. But guess what? You don't have a choice. You can feel like that. Do whatever you got to do to bring yourself out of that. But baby, you got to continue to be a mom. Ain't no giving up.
And that's the thing. I think with me, like after I had Z, and I know you probably feel the same way or can relate. I think after I had my child, it was hard. For a couple months after I had my child, like finding me, like getting back to me.
Postpartum.
Yeah. And it was just like, I always used to be like, I used to work myself, or I used to start working out heavy. So I mentally thought I wasn't going through postpartum, but I really was.
You don't realize it. Like when you're in the rut of it, it's just like, damn, shit is just crazy right now. Like, what's wrong with me? What's going on?
Drinking wine, trying to figure out like what I'm gonna do next. Trying to figure out, you know, the fluctuate of my weight, because after I have my child, the weight is different. If you know, you know, the weight is different.
Baby,
the
for
stomach,
sure.
It ain't like how it was before the
child.
I
remember, and this is no joke. Like, I remember after I had Sky, I was sitting there, and I've always been like a smaller, petite person. But after I had her, I was the biggest I've ever been in my life when I was pregnant with her. And like my stomach started going down, and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm crying and I'm calling my mom and I'm like, my stomach is so black. And I'm like, is this gonna go away? And my mother's like, eventually it will go away. And I'm just looking at myself like, I don't like me. This is not me. This is not my body. This is not like, what is this? And when am I gonna go back to normal? But you gotta realize, you gotta accept you for who you are. And there are people who don't go back to what they were before having a kid. And you got to just accept that and just push forward.
And that's to piggyback on what you said. That's why we're like launching our clothing line in December, because literally moms that's on the go like us that still want to look cute and fashionable, like to basically dedicate to your curves that you have and embrace your mom body. That's what it's all about. Because it's like, we don't have really any cute wear that we can wear out to the mall. You know what I'm saying? That's really,
you want to be comfortable, but you want to be cute. Baby, I am a chill girl all day long. I'm gonna dress up, but I'm the type of person where, let me put a sweatsuit on. Okay. Let me put some fire kicks on. Yes. If my hair done, I'm gonna wear my hair out. If it's not, baby, I'm gonna throw a hat on and I'm gonna keep it going.
Like, our main thing is just always being true to ourselves and just being relatable, because we are regular moms out here that really
just trying to get it. Like, for real. And it's just like, we have these conversations on the phone, and it's crazy now that y'all can hear our conversations on our podcast and out loud. And it's just like, you always tell her, I'm like, you always need that one friend
or that mom friend or that boss friend that you can cry and talk about everything, where it's your guy, where it's your person, where it's your business, where it's your friendships, you know, your other friendships. You have to have that person, because you will literally, like we said, you will be at your breaking point. Like, and it's okay to be at your breaking point. Like, it's good to sometimes cry.
Sometimes you need
scream, have a breakdown, you know what I'm saying? Or just like literally take a break from life and then come back and do a reality check.
That's a fact. So what I want to get into is, you know, we are balancing everyday life. We're balancing our relationships. We are balancing just mom life. We balancing work life, just everyday things.
Yeah.
And so with that, it's like, if you don't get to take the time for yourself, a lot of times that's what it comes down to. We're so busy with other things that we don't get to just sit back and say, you know what, I got to take me time. And I'm not going to lie to y'all, this is full transparency. I feel like at the point that I am right now in my life, I am at my breaking point.
Same.
I'm genuinely at my breaking point. Same. And I say that because literally, what was it, a week ago?
I think it was.
I had literally like a nervous breakdown, because I'm just like, it seems like everything that I'm doing is just not good enough, whether it's for my person. I even feel like it's not good enough for my child. I even feel like I got a promotion at work. I feel like it's still not, I'm doing so much, but the reward is still not there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, right? And I feel like sometimes like that, like I feel like this week we both have like called each other like, bitch. This shit is crazy. And the thing about it is, it's just like sometimes you want to support your friend, you want to be there for your friend, but sometimes you got to let your friend go through her breakdown and let her experience it. And it's crazy because we both said like, dang, we are experiencing this at the same time. Every time we are really going through, because I call her, and I can be transparent as well. I called her, I said, I'm checked out. I said, I'm checked out. I'm checked out of everything. I'm checked out of my person, my child, my life, my career. Like, it's just some real stuff. Sometimes in life you get checked out. Like, and it's just like, I told her, us as moms, and what if we just put everything on pause, right? And not do anything?
Shit gonna fall apart.
Shit is gonna fall apart.
You can never just put shit on pause. You gotta keep going. And that's the thing though, but we gotta find that time where we can sit there and say, this is for me. This is for me. I have to sit there and mentally tell myself, like, you have to choose to be happy. You got to push forward. If I need time away from my person, I need time away from you. Yeah. If I need time away from my child, I need time away from you. If I need time away from whoever it is, you got to take that time, because if not, that's what leads people to suicide. These depressions that everybody are getting into. We getting into the holidays. You see more than any other time during the year, and during holiday times, the suicide rate
is crazy. And the thing, I'm so glad you touched on that, because I literally had like, you know, on Facebook when you see like, you know, a memory, and it's just like one of my friends that I went to school with, she passed away around this time, and she had 3 boys, you know, rest in peace, you know, to Diogenes. Sure. But to see that and to rekindle and have this podcast, even me seeing it a year ago, because it's still fresh, it's just like, this is what I'm doing it for. This is what we are doing it for. This is why we are building this brand, because, you know, you need moms, we check out. You know, we check out, and we don't talk to anybody, because at the end of the day, as moms, we look at it as like, okay, I'm talking to you about it. Are you going to help me? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to step up and take this weight off my shoulders? You're not. Listen, you can't. You can't walk in my shoes. I don't care how many times you say you can.
And I think even like for your significant other, it's like, why are you talking to your friends about your feelings? Why are you not coming to me? It's different when you come to somebody in your relationship sometimes, and it's not for everybody, but sometimes when you come to your person, it's hard for them to digest what you're going on, or they don't necessarily want to take on the responsibility of having to uplift you and, like, you know, just take on that burden. So being able to speak to your friends about, hey, this is what I got going on. It's a judgment-free zone, because your significant other could sit there and be like, oh, well, this is going on because of this. Or you want to have a space where you could just you can just let it all out and somebody not be like, oh, but I need this from you. Did you listen to what I just said?
Exactly.
Did you listen to what I just said?
That's the
like,
thing.
You're wanting things from me, and baby, I'm not okay.
No.
I'm not okay. So I can speak to my friend.
Of course.
And we talk every day.
We talk, we need
every
it.
Day.
We need it faithfully. And I can't wait till you guys meet our moms as well when they come on the podcast, because that's going to be a really good episode as well. We are both in tune with our moms as well.
My best friend.
Our mom is our best friend. Those are really our for lifers. Like we the four amigos. Like
literally.
What I really do have to touch on though is, this is going to be a sensitive topic, but us as moms, right? We look at and we envision the life we want to have from what we see before, right? What we grew up with our moms, our dads, or, if you didn't have a dad in your life or whatever the case may be. So the guys we choose, we proteges to think that, you have to be like my daddy, or if I have a kid by you, you need to treat me like how my dad treat me, because this is how I'm supposed to be treated. You know what I'm saying? And let's just say a case if I was abandoned and my dad left me, you meeting me, you got a lot of healing to do with me, because I'm not going to meet you halfway because I haven't fully healed myself. And I feel like in a lot of situations when we do have kids with people, or when we do, be in a relationship with people, we try to meet people for where they at now, but not heal the past. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that the past will make you, make the person a better person.
That's why I think it's important to, when you meet people and you start feeling like, okay, this may be somebody that I'm interested, you have to lay everything out on the table. It's not going to be with everybody. It's not like, oh, you out here dating, so I need to tell everybody, your my business, life. Yeah. But when you feel like you're getting to that point with somebody, you need to let them know, like, hey, these are my traumas. These are the things that I've dealt with. Either I'm healed or I'm not. I'm still a work in progress. Therefore, it's not just they're thinking that, oh, this person is okay all the time. Yeah. Nah, somebody, you may say something or you may do something and it may trigger them, but you don't know because you think everything is good in life. Yeah. While no, what you're doing to them or what you're saying to them is actually triggering them, because while they may have thought they were healed from it, they actually weren't.
And like, you could have just met them off of a fun time, you know what I'm saying? Y'all click. Like, that's how I met my mate. And it's just like in the beginning, like it was so fun. It was good. It was great. It was just like
that's
a breath
always
of fresh
gonna
air,
be the
right?
best part of a relationship anyway. Yeah, but then, the beginning,
girl,
the dating.
But then when it gets to the meaty part, and it's just like, okay, now what you really about? What you really bring to the table? We asking each other that, and it's just like, he's dug up some things in me in my past. Like, I'm proud to say I certified had daddy issues. You know what I'm saying? Thank God for my stepdad that came in my life when I was 5. But I didn't know I had daddy issues because I was so, I'm a boss. I'm a this. I take care of me, nothing else. When I met him, I'm paying for the check. He like, no, I got it. You doing too much. Like, you ain't got to do all that. But it's because, like, I was instilled that I got to take care of me before anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, like, my dad, like, it took him for me at the big age of 28, just now going to counseling with my dad, just now finding out the reason why I don't like screaming, or I don't like loud noises, or I don't like arguing, or when I have a short temper, why I have a short temper. Yeah. It's because of what I was brought up and raised, around. Yeah. And it's just like, in my, situation now, it's just like I try to prevent those things around my child because I don't want to have a flashback. Yeah. I don't want her to feel like how I felt when I was younger.
You don't want her to grow up with the same traumas that you have now, and you want it to be that, no, you don't have to heal from this. I went through this. I know how to get through it. I don't want to put my child through the same thing that I'm trying to heal through now, because you know how it feels. You know how hard it is to sit there and be like, damn.
And like, when she said as far as breaking point, I mean, after I had my child, and I'm being very vulnerable at this point, after I had my child, I thought that, my dad was going to be fully involved.
Let's talk
didn't
about
even
it.
come to see my child while I was pregnant. Just now trying to do things now. But it was so, I'm not going to cry, but it was just so hard for me because I told him, I said, you know, you didn't do it for me, which is fine, but do it for my child.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't want nothing from you.
Yeah.
If you don't be there for my child, you ain't ever got to worry about me again.
I have some of the same issues. Like, even growing up, I tell my dad now, and we have a pretty decent relationship, but it's not what I would have wanted for me and my dad. Growing up, me and my dad had a very, very close relationship. I was always a daddy's girl. It didn't matter what nobody told me about my daddy, baby. You can't tell me nothing wrong about that man. That is my ace in the hole. But as I got older, and I think I tell people all the time, have grace for your parents. When we get older, you got to realize, like, the same way we are growing and we're young and we trying to figure it out, our parents were too. So you got to give your parents grace. But to that point, like, when I was growing up, I didn't have a bond with my grandfather. And so I've always sat there and said, like, damn, I want my grandfather around. I want to know who this man is. I know who he is, but I don't really know him. I never had that bond. There's one memory that I can sit there and be like, I remember he came to my grandmother's house and he had this big old van, and it was like, it had like wine glasses and stuff hung up in there. That's just honestly the only memory that I can say that I have of my grandfather. But I've told my dad, like, hey, I want you to have this bond with Sky because this is something that I never got to experience. And I know I look at when I was growing up, I was looking at other kids and I'm like, damn, I want to have that granddaddy experience. And I never had that. Thank God for my stepfather. My stepfather has
Thank God for the stepdaddies, because the stepdaddies is winning.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure. My stepdad, that is Skylar's pop,
yes,
baby.
Carlos, you already know Zari don't play about you, Dad.
Matt is gonna step in, baby. He'll tell Skylar, if it ain't gonna be no other man in your life, your pop got you for life.
For life, he's so
he makes sure
too.
Literally,
he's
like
the sweetest.
That's my dog, but. Yeah, I just, like, that's been my beef with my father. Like, you don't have a bond with my daughter. Yes, she know who you are, but what happened to grandfather is, like, being able to be that man that it's okay for the little girl to come sit on a pop-up lap.
Like they feel like we, like, yes, we're your child, but I feel like they feel like we owe them something. Like, you should want to be in your grandchild life. You should want to do these things. But like she said, in a transparency moment, I can honestly say since my child has been on this earth, you know, he came to the Christian and, like, our relationship has become closer. Like, me going into counseling, and I'm sorry, y'all, I'm a little under the weather. If you can hear, I'm sorry. So you're going to hear me sniffle a little bit. But the communication has become amazing. He started cash apping her. And you know what I did? I was always a person that just said all the time was beating him about it. When I stopped saying stuff, God started coming through. Okay? Yep. Because, like, literally now he'll call me and be like, Jay, where's Z? Like, he loved her down now. And I just, like, you know, that was my prayer. Because at the end of the day, you know, like you said, as a child, a girl, you always want your dad. Like, you always want your dad, like your dad, if y'all know what I'm saying. You always want your dad. And it's just like, you always have these questions like, why he did this, why he left me, or why wasn't I not good enough? I was going through all of that as a teenager. You know, even in my younger 20s, that's why I was showing out. And it's just like, when I finally got those answers, when he told me his childhood, I said, well, you couldn't even be my dad because guess what? You wasn't ready. When I finally understand, it took me 28 years after I had my child for me to realize and have that serious conversation. He told me the things that he went through as a child. I fully understood.
And that's why I say you got to give your parents
grace.
I
never gave them grace. That's why I never gave my dad grace, because I always felt like he abandoned me. I always felt like I was never good enough. You know what I'm saying? And my mom was putting in that extra overwork, making sure that, you know, I was loved, that I didn't feel this way, you know, crying on her shoulder, like, why he won't come pick me up? Like, my dad did some foul shit, bro. Like,
he did.
My dad did some foul shit, and and like some shit like that as a childhood, like
that you shouldn't have to go through.
You shouldn't have to go through, bro. And that's why God gave me a daughter. Thank you, Jesus. But I would never let her go through those things.
Yeah.
You know?
And so it comes down to, you got to get into therapy.
Please.
You got to get into
Everybody
therapy.
need therapy.
I don't care if you think your life is full of glitz and glam, baby. Yeah. You got some trauma somewhere in there, and you never know when it's going to be triggered. You got to get into therapy. And that is one of the things that I am getting ready to get into is therapy for myself, because I know that if I do not forget a breaking point, I'm not going to be here. And I'm not going to be here.
And that will really hurt me. But, you know, like me talking to her every day, like she's really like, I just kind of cry. But she's really, I'm not going to cry, but I'm really like emotional because this is really real and raw. Like I said before, but this is more of a serious conversation. It's at that point with you. And like I said, you know, from the people that I know in the past, I know mothers that have taken their life or, you know, took some pills and couldn't wake up from it, but wanted to, but already made that decision.
Yep. It's literally like, and I'm not going to say I will ever do that because I literally, even me having a nervous breakdown, it's going through my head as I'm having the nervous breakdown. I'm just crying. Yeah. Like my body is just going through something, and like it exhausted me after the fact. Yeah. It exhausted me after the fact, but the only thing that I could think of was my daughter. Like, I know my parents could make sure that she's okay, but it's still not the same. Do I want to leave her with this type of hurt to be able to grow up and be like, yeah, my mom not here no more. My mom not, this is what my mom did. Like, I don't want to leave my daughter like that. So I have to make the effort now to say, I got to take care of me before it gets to that point. And so it's heavy right now. Like it's heavy. I got so many different things that are going on at one time, and me just trying to be Superwoman. You can't be Superwoman for everybody and for everything.
You can't be Superwoman for everybody. And I feel like as moms, and even with ourselves, we say it all the time, but we still try to be, right? We still try to be Superwoman. And, you know, it comes a point where we're tired. And when we're tired, it's because we have a lot of stuff that's been built up. Because as moms, we tend to just throw everything under the rug. Like, here you go, here you go, here you go. But it comes a point in time when you have a breaking point. It came a point in time where I just clocked into the computer and wanted to walk away. You know, my child's crying and I want to close the door.
Hey, when
you asking me what we eating tonight, and I'm just looking at you, looking at me, and we looking at each other. Because what are we doing?
It is real. It's real.
What are we doing?
There were times where Skylar was little and like she would be crying, and I'm just sitting there looking at her like,
you just really want to walk out the house. Just get into the car, go to the store. Like nothing happened.
Like, but you know you can't do that. Girl, but it's just like, damn, okay, let me figure some shit out. That's a fact. Hey, come get this baby. This mother is unfit, but it's not even.
This mother is unstable.
It's not even that you're unfit. It's just we bottle so many things up, then we gotta wipe our eyes and just get up and put our pants on the next day like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, and it's just like both of our parents are spiritual, right? So they always be like, you know, talk to God. My
mama gonna tell you real quick, you need to pray.
Honey,
pray.
I told my mama the other day, and we just being very transparent. I said, Mom, I didn't say about 10 prayers. I think God got me on pause right now. He's a little aggravated with me because, honey, I've been calling on him so much and been on my knees. What is the last podcast? I said, what? I've been crying for 7 days. Literally, we both have been in shambles, but we're literally like still trying to push and get that strength.
We lean on each other though.
Yeah, we do.
We lean on each other.
We have a purpose. We really do. And it was just like when I came to her with the idea, and I was like, I can't even find a better person to do it with because we talk about everything with each other.
Everything. So unfiltered though. Like it's not just on the podcast that we're so unfiltered. Y'all, this is everyday life. We're literally on the way home to get ready for this podcast, and we literally having these conversations like, bro, we really having this podcast on the phone, like, but it's just so natural, like having a genuine friend that you can just open up to. And yeah, you need it.
And it's
you
a non-judgment. Like, she could tell me the most off the wall thing, and I'd be like, okay, what you think?
Yeah.
How you think about it? Are you okay?
Yeah.
It'd be non-judging. Like, you sure? You really want to pull up? Like, come on.
Literally, like, I got you, but I got you 110%.
Always.
But like, you need that person that's gonna be able to just let you just get it out, whether it's cry, whether it's talk, whether it's, let's just sit here in silence, like, whatever it is.
Because
like,
we always say we feel like this podcast is much needed for y'all, but y'all really don't understand the work and the dedication that we put in. It's so much needed for us. We talk about it all the time. Like, she'll come to my desk and I'll be watching the first podcast 3-4 times.
I was like, girl, you watching it again? Yeah, girl, I'm just trying to go through and like pinpoint everything in here. Like,
and we put so much work into this, like
literally
everything, like, on a good note. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really care about y'all. I hope y'all know. Like, we really do.
Literally.
Like,
every day we sitting there like, okay, this is what we're gonna do for the podcast. This is what we got next. This is what, like, every single day. But, I just think that you gotta figure out who you really are and stick to that. Like, figure out the things that you really like. I know that I feel like a lot of things in my life have come to a halt. I used to go out and I used to party, and I'm not saying that I want to go out and party like I used to, because like, that's not me anymore. Yeah. But it's okay to be able to step out and get dressed, get real cute, and just let your hair down. Like, I want to have a night. I'm gonna have a night where I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get towed the fuck up.
Yeah, cause
I'm gonna get told the fuck up. Like,
sometimes we have to have like that check. Us as mothers, we be, just doing stuff every day, all the time. But it's like, when we pop out, we need that, like,
yeah.
Like, I still got it.
I still got it.
I
don't need to be out on the scene 24/7. But sometimes it's like a reminder, like, yeah, I'm still that. I'm still that
girl,
baby.
Know it. I was that when you met me, and I'm still that. If you know, you know.
That's a fact, though. But I think that's a thing that over the week, through the week, I've been telling Ton all the time, like, I am trying to figure out what it is that I need for me. You got to figure out what you need for you. Again, what you like. Just being able to take that time for yourself, being able to say, okay, I need space from you. I need space from you. I don't want to do this, so no, I'm not going to do this. You need to be able to have that safe space where you can just do that. And I think that will save a lot of people and make it so even if you are at your breaking point, you will not go over that cliff. Because again, I don't think that I'm gonna ever do anything to harm myself. I just think that I just be like, what the fuck? Like, I know I'm doing everything in my power to, take care of myself, to take care of my child, to, try to tend to my significant other, try to be the best that I can be at work. Like, I know that I am putting forth so much effort, but it just don't seem like the efforts are being rewarded.
Or even being reversed, too.
Reciprocated.
We're gonna go with reciprocated, okay?
Yeah.
Reciprocated. Yeah, that's another thing. That's a big thing for us. I mean, just to feel appreciated. Even it could be the smaller things, like, here, babe, here's your bath water. You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, mommy, I finished my homework. You know what I'm saying? Or, mommy, I love you. Let me tell you something. Those hugs and those kisses,
baby, they will never get old.
And they will never get old. And they be right on time, bro.
Like, we talked about that in the last podcast.
Like, but it's so true.
You need it. Again, I'm going to always say, like, there's times where I'm just having a fucked up day, and Sky literally going to come to me. And I don't know, your kids feed off your energy. Let me just say that. So as I've been going through this time in my life, like, my child know it. Every day she like, hey, mom, you okay? hey mom, you good? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why the fuck she keep asking me, am I okay? Like, why the fuck she keep saying, are you good? Like, this wasn't the norm for her. But I realized, and I tried not to show her as much as possible. Like, you know, I'm around her and I'm smiling, I'm laughing, I'm just regular mom shit.
I'm even like, you bringing Sky?
Yeah,
Sky,
like
Sky is the executive director.
Baby, Skylar is behind the scenes right now. Okay? She's always gonna be around.
Sky's
I got my baby with me 24/7.
Okay.
But yeah, like she is always like checking on me. And for those that know, y'all know my girl, it's always been me and my girl. It's always been me and Sky. 9 times out of 10, I pull up somewhere, Sky with me. Unless I'm going to the club, and I don't even do that like that no more. But Sky be with me.
Yeah, I had to check in with you. I'm like, you like, yeah, I'm about to leave out the house. I'm like, where's Sky? Where she at?
She better put her shoes on.
Yeah,
she
like,
coming.
Okay.
Go ahead. I can edit it out. But yeah.
But nah, they might leave it in because it's real.
Yeah. But yeah, like just you gotta figure out you know.
Yeah.
You gotta take time for yourself, and you gotta make sure that that's just that. Like,
yeah, it's really,
it don't get no realer than that. Like, take the time for you, figure out you, and do the things that you like. Find out what makes you happy.
And it could be the little things, y'all. It could be like a walk in a park, like a breath of fresh air. I know that's what works for me. Like sometimes in the morning, I get up at 5:45 in the morning. Everybody's asleep in my house, right? So I'll go, and I have like a little cul-de-sac in my neighborhood. I'll go walk around it just to get a fresh breath there. Go get the mail. Give me time to reset. Make my coffee at home. You know, take a shower. Release.
This is where routine comes into place. I had a routine at one point in time.
You did. You like, was on me about my routine.
Listen, I had a routine. I honestly think that's what them fucked me up.
Yes, indeed. Because you are the most routine person I know.
Let me tell you something. I would get up in the morning, get myself together. Once I'm dressed from work, I'm getting Skylar up. I'm like, hey, let's get up. Let's get ready for school. Skylar would leave out after me, which is perfectly fine. She would leave out after me. I go to work. I come back. I'm either going to the grocery store, or it's already food that I didn't took out of the fridge or the freezer for dinner. Like, I'm going home. I'm cooking. I'm taking my shower. Like, everything was already pre-planned. And I feel like right now, my life don't have no order. Like, I just got off of my routine. And I feel like even speaking about it now, maybe I didn't know that was really what it was.
Sometimes you have to speak it to realize like what you really got going on. And sometimes maybe it take that, you feel me? It take for you to like realize, analyze your situation. And then it's not saying that you got to change your situation, but you got to get back to you in your situation. That's
I used to go to the gym. Yeah, I used to go to the gym every single day.
Right. She had me walking around the block switching, right?
Literally, I used to go to the gym every day, and that I need to get back to that, because that really helped with just my mental health on an everyday basis. I was my best self when I was going to the gym every day. Everything, like cooking, cleaning, doing everything. Like, yeah.
If you know, you know.
But no, real shit, like, I think that is my core. So, like, getting back to the gym. And y'all can hold me accountable. Like,
please hold it,
sit there and ask me in the comments, like, did you get back in the gym?
Okay.
You back to your routine? You, like, check on me, y'all. Check on me. Because sometimes that's what you need, too. Somebody to hold you accountable when you're trying to get back to the real you.
And that's crazy, because I'm going to hold her accountable. And I know she's going to hold me accountable about coming to work on time.
Baby. Listen.
But on another note.
Yeah, don't try to change it now. Let's try to change it now.
On another note, I mean, we just want to talk about, we pretty much talk about everything. We just want to talk about how appreciative we are. Like, literally, like, of y'all. Like, for even the first episode, I want to say, y'all showed up and showed out. Like, that's a fact. For us.
We appreciate the support. The likes, the comments, the subscribers, the follows on all platforms.
Y'all got our first on TikTok. Y'all got our first episode
viral
to 14K, and then on top of that, y'all heart almost 1,200.
I don't know what it
I
is,
don't know,
but baby,
something
y'all.
like that. I said this video I wasn't gonna put my phone up and do all that like I was. Like y'all gonna really get to me. But keep about to pull it up for y'all. It was crazy. It was insane. Even on our Mom Code page on Instagram, it's like 7,000 views.
No, that's a fact.
Like literally 7,000 views. Like y'all want this. Y'all really want, like, we created this avenue to give y'all this, and y'all really want it. And we really gonna take y'all, like, y'all really fucking with us. We really gonna take y'all, like,
the video has 7K plays.
7K plays, bro, on our first video. So y'all already know what y'all gotta do. Y'all gotta get this video up to 10K. What you think?
It gotta go to 10K.
Gotta go to 10K.
We need another 50 subscribers.
We do. Another 50 subscribers, 10K. Please start commenting. Because we are very relatable, like we said before, and we will comment back. We literally, on the comments that we have, we've commented back.
To everything.
To everything. Like, if you feel like you deserve to be on our show, not even deserve, you feel like you got a voice, you got something to say, you got a business, come on the show.
Let us know.
Like, come send it to me, send it to Key. We're going to talk about it, come together with our PR and our publicist and our director.
If we got to cry about it, we're going to cry about it.
We're going to cry
Whatever it is that you need to be. This is a safe space.
This is a safe space. This is not all for celebrities. It's regular people, too. This is, like, literally, it's everybody.
Everybody, everyday life people. It don't matter what level you on, baby. We all just trying to just make it. I told Jatan the other day, I said, life is hard. Mm-hmm. Like, life is very hard. And it's so many people that's just struggling, whether it's financially, mentally, emotionally. Like, people are struggling in life right now. You got to be gentle with people because you never know what they got going on. People will look at me, baby, at work. They think that I'm just probably the happiest person. Yeah. They tell me all the time, Key, you always smiling. Yeah. You always ready to help people. You always this, you always that. And Key some days I be coming in there and, baby, I had to put myself together just to get out the car.
I just got done talking with her off the phone, but she coming in here smiling. They just be like, oh, my God, Key is so happy. And that's the energy you're supposed to give.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to never let nobody know, like, when you going through it, when you down. Only the people that really fuck with you, you know what I'm saying? Because at this big age we I'm heading to my 30s and she's in her early 30s. Yeah. Baby, if we ain't friends by now, we ain't friends. If we ain't as close as we are right now, we not gonna be close. If we don't have nothing relatable, we can't talk about, what are we talking about? We can't talk about nothing.
I don't want no pointless
baby,
relationships.
I can relate to a 21-year-old that's still partying and, you know.
Yeah, that's not my life no more. I don't want to be in a club. That's not it. Now, I'll pop out every once in a while, so don't try to say, oh, Key, you was on that podcast. And no, what I said was
on that podcast, and we see you somewhere in Charlotte popping that booty.
Baby, y'all not going to see me in Charlotte popping that booty. That's not my life no more. But y'all gonna see me pop outside. I'm gonna pop out.
You gonna see us pop out for dinner, okay?
Dinner. We might go have some drinks, some hookah. But yeah,
girls love hookah.
Yeah, baby.
We need a hookah sponsor.
If you got the hookahs, let us know.
Okay, because
we're gonna bring the hookahs.
We love hookah, and if you have since this is, and we've discussed it before this podcast, since this is Wine Down Wednesdays, if you have a black-owned wine company, it don't have to be from Charlotte, but just black-owned in general. We putting all our black-owned people on, okay? Please listen to my email, Key email, or Momco email. We'll get it either way.
Yeah.
And we will literally get the wine, or, you know, we'll set up something where you can come and showcase the wine and we can talk about it and drink it.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Well, y'all, this is Mom Code episode 2. Breaking Point. We enjoy having this conversation. Very natural, very fluid.
Very natural, very
real
much
life.
Needed.
Real life. We needed this. Like she said earlier in the show, like, I don't think we understand how much, we trying to help other people, but we helping each other.
Yeah.
Even just talking about it on the platform.
Yeah. We really have to understand. And this is my closing remark. You know, we always do our closing remarks. I feel like us as mom, or even in people in general, we got to give ourselves a little bit of grace.
Because we be hard on yourself.
Because we be hard. And I know really I be hard on myself. And keep it like, chill, like, Jatan, chill out. Like, this is too much. You are doing too much. And I'm like, I can't stop. I gotta go get it. Like I said before, it's embedded in me. It's embedded in Key. Like, so sometimes she be like, Jatan, you doing too much. Sit down. Like, just calm down.
You gotta take that time.
And sometimes I be like, Key, relax, take a step back. Let's just chill. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I have. My takeaway today is just give yourself grace. Allow yourself to go through things, but give yourself grace while doing it. Don't be too hard on yourself, even as moms or even as, people. Don't do that.
My takeaway, honestly, is just figure out you. I've said it already. Figure out you. Make sure you're doing what makes you happy. Because even on the last podcast, I told y'all, if you don't make sure that you're good, you're not gonna be good for these other people out here that's in your life. Mm-mm. Like, you gotta figure out what makes you happy, what's gonna make you the best you. And yeah, that's it.
That's a wrap. That is a freaking wrap.
See y'all next time.
See y'all on episode 3. You guys, get us to that 10K. For real, we're not playing with y'all. Get us to 100 subscribers on YouTube. 10K on Instagram as far